Bonsoir tout le monde. Segon, Quay, bonsoir, good evening. Merci d'être là. Thank you for being here. Je m'appelle Nazila, je fais partie du collectif Soignons la justice sociale et on organise la veillée ce soir en soutien à la famille de Madame Joyce Echaquan qui organise une veillée à ce moment même à Manoan. Il y a eu des événements commémoratifs cette journée à Manoan, puis il y a une veillée qui a lieu ce soir. Donc on est là avec une pensée pour la famille de Joyce Echaquan pour honorer sa mémoire. We're going to get started in a few minutes. Before doing so, I'd like to invite Ellen Gabriel to do an opening, to put our minds together and open. These are the words before everything else in Ganyagahaga tradition. So we'd like to start by inviting Ellen to do the opening.
Honorado sa koyako. Katitsa bos na yung jets kanu wagaya ko. Ano kanya para kaya ko tatanaga sa tao kaya kanagere. Wagatun sa ni ahando atatawatas sa si ahando ka kaliwatak pa. So I'm going to say something in my language. And I want you all to sort of think of what mind. I'll try and translate as I go. But this is something that we say in the Longhouse before we start any meetings or ceremonies or socials. And it's because we're acknowledging and thanking all the life forces that help us live and exist on this earth. So I'm going to do it in my language and think of those things as I say them and thank them. Because this is what this is about life and preserving that life. Kacang po sa watang husiyos tak ni kariwesa. Katsitinwarada na sunggoyatism. Siya ko ko no taro sungoni na tayo temistan hotsan. Si oya ahwan ni sera ng wat kakto. Si oya ahwan ni sera awando na ibwana kere. So what I said was for all of you to please take some time to listen. And that before we begin, we should thank the Creator for living another day and to be able to see each other and to live another day. Tinawara doon ay kaisang hutsa. Sinabuhay ko ng yunis. Na nakakot ko ng neganos. Siyang kiawis nagkaksanstas sila kung nalungkot sila tanas panyakat sila. Siganoros na hota yung kiawis. We greet and thank Mother Earth for all that she brings us and the food and the water, the love, the respect, the courage and strength that she gives us. I greet all of you today who have come here to meet on this wonderful day. So we greet the waters, and we're thankful for the water we're able to drink, to bathe, to wash, and all the gifts that they bring us. We greet all the natural life cycles and all that they bring us and gift us with. We greet the fish and all of those water beings. We greet all the roots and all the work that they do beneath our feet. Sinahote yung kiawis, yung Krishnianos, yung Guajillos, yung Padakarite, Tinyate ko na ho to oya yung kiyawis. Tinawarato na na unong kwaksuno. Asin suno. Atitatsuno. Nano ho atira mahundang suno. So we greet the green plants, the flowers, the medicines, the vegetables that bring us all those things, those wonderful things in life to help nurture us and keep us healthy. We greet and thank the insects, for without them we would not have food. We greet the fruits with their leader, the strawberries. We greet the life, the sustainers of life, the three sisters, the corns, the bean, and the squash. We greet the four-legged ones with their leader, the deer. We also greet and thank the trees with their leader being the maple tree. We also greet the birds with their leaders, the eagle. Skana sebo ni waksatsta. Skana wanti ni wani gura. Skana niya ay wadsari na kaksatskasara. Kuna nung kwatsara, kana skana katsara. We also acknowledge our ancestors who created the great shining peace, where we have love, respect, compassion, and strength that we live on a daily basis, and we use those laws as we live every day. We greet our grandfather, Hallelujah, and the medicine that he provides for our people to keep us healthy. We greet the four winds, the directions from the north, the south, the east, and the west, and all the changes that they bring us. We greet the thunderers who wash the earth and keep the earth energized and all that they do in the sky. We greet and thank our grandmother, the moon, and all that she does to help her daughter, Mother Earth, and all that she brings to the people. We greet our elder brother, the sun, for shining and warming the earth. And when we see his face in the sky, we are very happy. And all that he helps Mother Earth, we are very grateful for. We greet the stars, our ancestors in the sky, and all that they teach us and bring us. If I have forgotten anything, then you think it in your minds. And as we as a collective bring our minds together, we greet and we thank all those living life forces. And I want to just say that I'm very grateful and honored to be asked to do the opening on Kanyakahaga territory. the Binusesado Haudenosaunee traditional territory, and the love and respect for Joyce Echaquan and her family, and that we remember her every year at this time for the sacrifices that she made to highlight an issue that exists in Quebec: systemic racism, part of the genocidal project against Indigenous people. And we must remember her every day and work together to strive and put pressure on the politicians, those decision makers, to implement Joyce's principles, to implement the calls to action of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and to teach the genocidal project in the schools, in the high schools, in the universities, to judges, lawyers, doctors, and everyone else who serves the public. Because, as they say in Joyce's principles does not suffer inertia. They cannot tolerate inertia, which is what Premier Legault has stated in his denial of systemic racism. The protection of the status quo should no longer be tolerated. So thank you all for listening to me. So be it in your minds.
Now, Lord, thank you, Ellen, for grounding us in these words, in this opening, and in your powerful words. So again, good evening, everybody. Welcome. Bonsoir tout le monde. Bienvenue. I would like to acknowledge that we're standing, tonight we're gathering on unceded traditional Kanien'kehá:ka territory, the Kanien'kehá:ka Nation, who are the stewards of this land and continue to exert their sovereignty and jurisdiction on this territory. Jojage, or Montreal, was and is a gathering place for many nations and communities over the centuries. And so we're gathering tonight to honor the memory of Joyce Echaquan, to demonstrate our support for her family, her community, the Atikamekw Nation, and all Indigenous peoples fighting for justice and self-determination. I would like to thank Carole Dubé and Joyce Echaquan's family for accompanying us tonight. Like I mentioned earlier, there is a vigil happening in Manawan at the same time. And while the family could not be in Montreal tonight because they're commemorating in Manawan, they're very much here in spirit, and we send our thoughts and our love to them. So thank you for your courage, thank you for your persistence, thank you for fighting for justice, and to continue to denounce systemic racism and to fight for Joyce's principle. The Caring for Social Justice Collective is organizing the vigil tonight with the Coalition Unie pour Joyce. As settler healthcare providers, I think it's fundamental that we not stay silent in the context of anti-Indigenous systemic racism, including in healthcare. We carry the legacy of our institutions' complicity in the colonial genocide and in the violence perpetrated against Indigenous peoples. So I think it's very important that we keep that in mind. We are September 28th. Joyce Echaquan died 2 years ago. She recorded her last moments, moments of distress and calling for help in the face of brutal, racist, and sexist violence at the hands of healthcare providers. And some people might think that the things that we're talking about when we talk about the complicity of our healthcare institutions are in the past. When we talk about residential schools, segregated Indian hospitals, forced and coerced sterilization of women and girls, all the policies that were inherently genocidal. For some people that might seem like it's in the past. But I think the fact that we're gathered here today and the fact that we're honoring Joyce's memory reminds us that it's here today. Racist violence is very much here today. It is still here. It is still violent. It is still systemic. and it's still deadly. And so I think we're here to make sure that we remember that and to fight for Joyce's principle, which has been put forward by Joyce Echaquan's family and community 2 years ago, demanding self-determination for Indigenous peoples, calling professional orders, healthcare institutions, higher education organizations, and people like you and me to act. So I'm really glad to see everybody tonight. It's really heartwarming to see folks coming together. So thank you.
Bonjour, on va faire l'événement en français et en anglais entre autres, mais on ne va pas se répéter nécessairement. Mon nom c'est Rachel, qui Plalonde, je suis enseignante en travail social et je suis aussi membre du collectif Soignons la justice sociale parce que la santé n'est pas juste physique. Les travailleurs sociaux et travailleuses sociales ont un rôle à jouer dans améliorer notre système de santé. Je veux réitérer nos merci à M. Carole Dubé, à la famille de Joyce. La veillée principale ce soir est à Manawan, ici on est en solidarité avec cette veillée-là. On est ici à commémorer la vie de cette grande femme de Joyce, puis réaffirmer notre engagement pour faire adopter le principe de Joyce. Il est plus que temps de le faire adopter par nos institutions, par nos regroupements, par notre gouvernement. Alors je rappelle qu'ici, on s'engage personnellement à véhiculer un message positif pour l'adoption du principe des instances politiques et institutionnelles. On appuie l'application des 6 piliers du principe de Joyce. On appuie la mise en place et la mise en œuvre de la sécurisation culturelle dans le système de santé et dans le système des services sociaux envers le peuple autochtone. On s'engage activement à lutter contre le racisme envers tous les autochtones et les Inuits, et on travaille d'arrache-pied à mettre fin au racisme systémique dans la société. On réaffirme notre engagement fait ce soir envers le principe de Joyce dans cette soirée qui est dédiée à la mémoire de Joyce Echaquan.